Hey YouTube, it's Urgo. So for today's video I'm going to do something a little bit different than some of my previous ones here. I was actually tagged in a game that one of the other YouTube orbiters, Katrina, did. I guess it was a book reviewer tag game, and I'm not a book reviewer, but she tagged me. I tried to get out of it, but I actually think this is probably a pretty cool idea. That, not necessarily a tag, but maybe sort of a themed topic that maybe we all can do, all the orbiters do once a week. It'll help us get through this and be entertaining to everyone that's watching. We're not really a collab channel per se, though we do have the YTO Orbit channel where all the videos are there. Anyway, I think it would be a kind of a cool idea to sort of get together and get us more as a community here. I'm going to change a couple of the questions a little bit since it's not quite as relevant to me here, but I'll keep most of them the same. So the first question is, how do you organize your bookshelf? And I've made a couple of videos down here. This is sort of my very lacking bookshelf. I'll zoom in here. So sort of the top rows are actual books, and below there are DVDs and Blu-rays and whatnot there. Yeah. The reason sort of that I don't have that many books are sort of twofold here. One is that I'm not a huge reader, but some of my books are packed up still. I just never got around to unpacking them. But also, of the books I do read, I actually read a lot of them. I like listening to audiobooks, so a lot of them are virtual and I don't actually have actual books here. Question number 2 was advice for other book reviewers / gurus. I'm going to actually change this a little to / vloggers, since that's sort of what we're doing here, or video-a-dayers. So I guess my main thing that I'd recommend is try not to go too overboard on the length. I bet you that this video is going to turn out to be pretty long, but for the most part, try to keep it short enough so people can watch a lot of videos every day. But also be as honest as possible, make it entertaining, and don't have a dog near you that has lots of loud chew toys. Question number 3 is, what are your favorite books? So let me go over here and I'll grab a couple. So this was actually a question that Katrina also asked in a previous video here, and for that video I said The Cuckoo's Egg is probably one of my favorite books here. It's by Cliff Stahl. I actually got this book in college in our English class. We were reading it, and it's basically it tells the story from Cliff's perspective here. This is an autobiographical story on some adventures he had when he was, I believe, was a grad student at Berkeley, and he basically is going and working with all sorts of government agencies to track down a computer hacker that got into their network there. So it's a pretty cool story. Yeah, I do highly recommend it. It's called, again, The Cuckoo's Egg by Cliff Stahl. And I can't get away from this without also giving Ender's Game a shout out here. Who, again, if you hear that noise in the background, that is actually Ender, and this is how he got his name. I don't know if you can see him in frame. Yeah, he's down over there. Ender! So, yeah, Ender's Game, really not just this first book, but the entire saga, and really anything by Orson Scott Card I'm a big fan of. Ender's Game, the high level of what it's about is the Earth is at war with an alien race, and they've been attacked twice already, and they want to defeat this alien race for the final time. And how they do it is they get the smartest kids and send them up to a battle school up above the Earth in the space station, basically, and train them for war. So that's the premise of it. It gets way, way, way beyond that in the other books. So I do highly recommend this one to start with, but the entire series. For this next question, I'm taking you to a different location, because this light went out. This is sort of where I like to read. Not necessarily where I am currently. I'm in my garage, but I'm in my car. As I mentioned, I listen to audiobooks. That's really my primary source of reading. And I used to do it all the time. I got back into, I'd say, reading a couple of years ago. Actually, I think Ender's Game was probably the first one I started with. Back when I had about a 25-minute commute to, and then a 25-minute commute home from work. So I was listening to a lot of books on the commute there rather than listening to the radio or podcasts and things like that. So the car is, again, my primary location. Now that I work from home, I don't really travel that much, and I actually haven't listened to any audiobooks in a little while, but the car is my number one place to watch, or listen to / read.
So question number 5 is embarrassing picture. I didn't really realize until after I had already spent a half hour going through all sorts of old photos and realizing that I don't really have any embarrassing pictures because I delete those, that it just says embarrassing picture, not embarrassing picture of you. But anyway, I came up with some pictures that could possibly be considered embarrassing, or at the very least, cute.
Question number 6 is, what is your favorite book cover? So I went through at least the books on the shelf over here, and I thought this cover was pretty cool here. It's Hyperspace. So check that out. So the last question, question number 7, is if you could be any other book reviewer, and I'm going to change this to YouTuber, who would it be and why? So I'm pretty happy being myself here, but I mean, if I was anyone else, I guess the sort of like the daily vlogger, which is what the YouTube orbit's all about, is Shay Carl and Shaytard. So I guess I would pick him. I mean, he's got over 500,000 subscribers. He's got a cool family, and just because he's put his life online for you, he's done it for a year. Let's hope for 2. Oh yeah, he's got a pretty cool theme song too. So, yeah. So I guess that would be, if anyone, that would be who I'd pick. So. Yeah, that's it for the questions here. So I guess I would, sort of like Katrina, I'm going to tag the rest of the YouTube orbit as well. So everyone else that's doing this, make a video response here, attach it to mine or Katrina's, or it'll be also featured on the YTO orbit channel, of course. And yeah, and what just in general, what do you guys think if we do sort of like one common video every week or so here? I think it would be a pretty cool idea, just to get us all together. What do you guys think? And everyone that's not in the orbit, feel free to chime in as well. What do you guys think about that? And also, I guess anyone else that does watch this, if you want to do a response and answer these questions, please feel free as well. So that's about it for today, guys. I don't know why I use my hand so much, just in general, but anyway, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, and have a great day.